Welcome back to The Road Forward, a podcast for trucking industry leaders, brought to you by TruckSpy, the all-in-one fleet management platform built to empower your drivers to be productive, compliant, and safe. That is correct. My name is Alex. This is episode 42. This is a good one. Let me introduce the guests.
What's up,
Flint,
Alex?
No, Matt, don't.
I always get the first one. All right.
Flint, our CEO, is here. How are you, sir?
What's up, guys? I'm Alex. As always, come on, I'm living the dream. You know.
Yes, there we go. That's gonna be Flint living the dream. And then we got Matt, our CEO, COO. How are you, sir?
Living the nightmare. Okay, it's good. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. How are you, Alex?
Doing good, man. It's so funny because last week I was, obviously editing, and I said, "Let me introduce our host, Flint," and I was like, Alex." So if you caught that mistake from last week, there you go. Comment it below. But we're gonna start off with some fun. Okay, we go for fun. We go to Reddit/truckers, and this is one of those pictures where you go like, that doesn't look quite right. Essentially, what it is, it's the tandem axles on a dry van trailer. And in between the two axles, there's a fire hydrant stuck.
That takes some skill, man.
Yeah, it does. But this reminds me, Alex, did you see that video where the driver hits one of these little concrete posts with the back tandems, gets frustrated, rips both the tandems off the back of the trailer, and then drives it on away?
Yeah. Come on, guys. I know the trailers are long, but we can't be, we need those. We need those fire hydrants. Okay. So that's not supposed to be there as the caption. So, and it's like stuck upside down too in there. It's like, goodness, I don't know if it was laying on the road and he ran it over and something. I don't know. It's like how you just go, how, like you look at this and go like, how does that even happen? And then that's the first Reddit one. And then we got our second one, which is a TikTok video.
Then what do you do all day while driving? Don't you get bored?
Did you guys hear that? It's like Patrick from SpongeBob. What do you do while driving all day? Don't you get bored? It's like, I mean, sometimes the days are long. You're just driving.
Why is this guy in the left lane? Shouldn't he be
I
in the
don't.
right lane?
Yeah. Well, it's because he doesn't.
I know, man.
Flint.
Oh yeah, you gotta let the cat purr a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Right. But so yes, the days can be long, and so that's what we're here for. We're here to entertain you a little bit. As for our third one, I don't know if this is okay to say in 2022, but I guess we'll just Dude,
it's 2023, by the way, just
or 2023, right? Okay. So it's a picture of. Okay, hold on. Well, I already forgot his name. But anyway, so people, the caption is like, when people ask why I love trucking, and it's underneath. It says, I'm gonna be kind of honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded. And what's his name?
Alex Jones.
Yes, Alex Jones. Thank you. So yeah, and that's from the Joe Rogan podcast where he said that. But it's just like, hey, why do you love trucking? I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of retarded, right? And there's a lot of challenges in the industry, and so it's like, yeah, it's a good one.
You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I think anybody in the industry knows exactly what this meme's getting at.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Long hours.
I mean, you got to do something you love, guys, right? Like, right. That's the deal. I mean, go look at ranchers. They don't make any money. They work their asses off. They love it. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Mm.
Right. Absolutely right. But speaking of people that love doing what their jobs or not loving doing their jobs, apparently, I saw this and Matt, you want to talk about it because this is your baby. This under 21 pilot program is your baby. You wanted this so bad, and look at the participation rates. Okay, Matt, talk to us. What is this? It's
really disappointing. I'll be honest. That was really sad to see this story. So yeah, it looks like, and this is according to Landline, the American Trucking Association's reporting that there's only four total kids in this program, the under 21 program. Some interesting things there. They were expecting to have 3,000 participants. They have 4. right? But it mentioned in there, and I guess who was reporting on this was a senator from Mississippi, but they only have 21 fleets that are approved. So the key word to me and the key piece that I saw there, only 21 fleets approved for this program. So I don't know what that means in terms of applicants versus approval. And since this is a government program, I do have some concerns about how it's being run. But I think the point that they're making here is that, is there really a truck driver shortage, right? Like, you would think any kind of help in terms of getting drivers in would be met with some demand if there truly was this driver shortage. But it's actually showing that the ATA also has reported that drivers are leaving because of lack of work and things like that. So what the hell's really going on here? I don't know. But my little baby project here is not going so well. That's the that's the point.
It's funny. Landline does it with their titles. It's like under 21 pilot program, the party no one is going to. It's like, oh, that's yeah. I mean, like young kids nowadays, what do they want to be doing? They want to be YouTubers. They want to be streaming on Twitch. They don't want to work. They definitely don't want to be truck drivers as it shows, because only 4. But Matt, I think
wait, dude, real quick. If you ask somebody under 21 what a landline is, they would be able to, or what a landline was, I guess, they would have no idea. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Maybe there's some irony.
But essentially what you're highlighting is maybe there's not enough fleets that are participating in this program, and that's what gives us the low turnout. That's kind of the question. Like, we don't know, is the problem with fleet participation, or is the problem with not enough drivers actually signing up, right? That's kind of the question that you're asking.
Well, fleet participation, maybe there's more that want to participate, but they're not getting approved through whatever process is happening there. So
yeah, I just got a million questions, right? Like, how did we market this program that we only got 4 people? Like, what was the plan? Did the government market this? Did the trucking association, did the companies market it? Like, who was actually getting the word out? Because as a under 21 person, I'm probably not actively looking for information about becoming a truck driver. I might be willing and interested if somebody makes me aware of that opportunity, right? But
yeah,
I don't know where the failure was. But to Matt's point, like probably 2 years ago, it was a really big truck driver shortage. Mm-hmm. Maybe not so much now. Like, maybe this program's a little late to the party. What's probably really cool is they'll kill it, and then there'll be another shortage, and then they'll say, hey, what about that under 21 driver program? 2 years later, they'll get it back off the ground.
Right. I would be interested to see,
government fashion.
Like, if we talk to our customers, maybe see what they would think about this program, if they would even be interested in it or not. But I mean, there was one part at the end though. It was, I think it resonated with me, and we've all driven in this industry, but they actually refer to the conditions, so the same problems that are causing older drivers to leave: low wages and poor working conditions. Certainly wouldn't, as if I'm a teenager, I'm not thinking, oh man, I want to be treated like shit and not make any money. That wouldn't exactly get me running to get behind the wheel of a truck. So right. I don't know there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's true. It's, if you want to, like, I think Flint, what you're asking is, like, did they run TikTok ads? Because if they didn't do like some kind of bottle flip challenge on TikTok and say, hey, we're hiring under 21 drivers, how are under 21-year-olds going to know about it? Really?
Or like get linked in with like all the career tech, all the high school career tech programs, or, I mean, I just think that they probably did not get the word out very, very well. Because I can't imagine that if they had properly marketed that they would only have 4.
Right. No,
it's pretty ridiculous.
Right.
It's not like these kids have, I mean, sure, you might kick a few out saying, hey, you got like a prior drug thing or whatever, but I can't imagine that many people under 21 have a background that would disqualify them from truck driving. So
right. So interesting conversation nonetheless of like, hey, we want to get the younger people involved, but we don't really know why they're not getting involved. What is it? Is it something they're doing wrong, or is it just really people don't want to be truck drivers? To add another reason of why people don't want to be truck drivers is I was just scrolling through the headlines and I see trucker pleads guilty to careless driving in 2020 death of activist outside of a pig slaughterhouse. I was like, wait, hold on. I remember because the video kind of blew up. It was like, it's, when sometimes there's a mob, they block the entrance into the slaughterhouse. This big burly trucker is pulling in and, sometimes he runs them over. And apparently he ran somebody over. They passed away, unfortunately. But the problem is, well, he pled to careless driving because of it. And like my question or the thought there, or the quote that comes to mind is, I forget where I heard it, is like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's like, what are you doing standing in front of an 80,000 pound rig on a road as they're working? It's like, that's just yet another reason of why people don't want to drive truck anymore. Why is this allowed? It doesn't make any sense. And I looked up careless driving, right here. It says he was ordered to pay a $2,000 fine and receive 12-month probation period, during which he was only permitted to operate vehicle for work to get to and from his job. When I looked up careless driving, it seemed like there could have been a possibility for jail time, but ultimately there wasn't. But it seemed like this driver would lose his CDL, is what it seems like. And so now it's like, oh, great. So not only are we not paying them enough, not only, according to the previous article, it's like, not only are the working conditions not great, it's like, this is yet another thing that drivers have to worry about, of like, what if I get roadblocked and then, I can't stop in time, or I'm just trying to do my job. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, I'd have to agree that there's a lot of things. There's not enough things protecting drivers, the commercial drivers, right? They're always being blamed for something. The law doesn't seem to have their backs when there's even a predominance of evidence that they wouldn't be at fault. So, I think it contributes to the fact that it's not a very attractive industry to get into if you're not already into it. There's just too much risk to your own personal well-being to get behind the wheel of a truck.
But I mean, he could have just stopped, right? I mean, he could have just stopped.
Yeah, but it says right here, there was no evidence to suggest Blake intentionally hit Russell. Like he didn't like do it intentionally. Like the lady was in the middle of the road blocking the entrance to the slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? And not to mention, like, remember during all the protests and stuff like that, like there was a trucker that was trying to drive through slowly and they ended up like smashing his windshield or smashing his window, dragging him out.
I remember that.
Like, stopping is a scary thing too. It's like, so you can't go because then you run over someone, and you can't stop because then you get beat up.
Yeah, look, it's crazy. I mean,
my initial, I haven't read this article.
They're accomplishing by protesting outside of a slaughterhouse.
I haven't read the article. My initial thought when I read the headline was that was probably the best he was going to do considering the case against him, right? His lawyer probably convinced him to take that plea, right, to minimize the potential punishment he was facing, because he probably wasn't going to win a not guilty plea.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, there's no way he's not guilty. Because obviously, like, yeah, he got ran over, and pedestrians do have the right of way, and I get that. But it's like, so like certainly, but by all things considered, it's like this probably was a decent outcome given the circumstances. But it's just rough for the drivers out there. But maybe Alex, some good news.
Do you know who Reginald Denny is? Have you heard that name? Look him up.
Okay.
Later, after the show.
Later. All right, after the show. But I was going to that messed up my segue. But the good news is there may be some protections. And obviously we're going to our tort reform liaison, Flint, for this. It looks like Florida is celebrating some kind of new law targeting lawsuit abuse. Flint, what did you see in this one?
Yeah, well, look, Florida's like a judicial hellhole, right? I mean, it has been for a long time. And so, like, finally, DeSantis, maybe he's, finally has pushed this over the finish line. I know it's been a topic for a long time in Florida to do some tort reform. Sounds like this is a pretty big overhaul. I mean, I scanned through the article here, and They're changing the way that accident attorneys can get paid from trials, which I think is probably the biggest way that states can reduce the size of these lawsuits, right? Because the accident attorney, like the bigger the lawsuit, the more of a portion of the lawsuit they end up getting paid. So I think when you change how, the economic incentive behind the trial of the accident attorneys, like that's going to change the fundamentals of this litigation. And I think that what's in here is exactly right. I mean, this one line right here that you have on your screen ensures that Floridans can't be held liable for damages if the person suing is more at fault. Right? Like, crazy idea.
Oh, wow. Where did they come up with that idea? I'm sure California's looking at this like, oh man, we're gonna do the opposite, whatever.
Right.
Whatever Florida wants to do, California will do the opposite.
Right. Yeah, which doesn't make sense. Why are laws like, it would seem like laws like this would even have to be on the books. It's like, hold on, why are we incentivizing the attorneys to essentially pad the lawsuit? Because that's where their incentives come from. Like, hey, the more I win, the more I make. It's like, well, obviously that's not good. And so this is probably, why some of these cases have spiraled out of control. And then also, yeah, like, hold on, if it's the other person's fault, how are you then going to sue me? It's like, that doesn't make any sense either. Matt, did you want to add anything else?
No, I think I've interrupted enough. You're welcome. I just want to make your editing
lined up, but then we didn't want to go too far down the bad news black hole. So
they're doing all sorts of crazy. Yeah, man.
Look, I think more states have to follow this, have to implement this. I mean, Texas has to a smaller extent. I mean, Alex, this is industry killing stuff, right? This whole tort and accident attorney. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in trucking or you're running a local ice cream shop and you've got somebody slipping, tripping, and falling. I mean, this stuff. Frankly, it's really hard to do business when there's always an attorney out there trying to sue you.
But yeah, it's good news for Florida Trucking Association. They looks like they tweeted thank you, so that's good. And then another, right here they said, hey, Florida Trucking was proud to be represented by members Jimmy Davis of Davis Express. So they're and signed major tort reform into law today. Governor Ron DeSantis. So yeah, like this is a step in the right direction of making sure trucking companies don't get sued for frivolous things, or if it is the other person's fault, they don't get sued if it's the other person's fault. It's like, hold on, you crashed into me, you're gonna sue then. Like, yeah. So this is good. So that's really nice. Looks like it's HB 837. That's the law if you want to look that up. But I think that's going to do it this episode. I know it's probably going to be just a quick one. We're all busy here. We're working. We're launching new products. We're building great things for drivers and fleets to take advantage of. So we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.